Hello students, I hope you all are well and fine at your home. Today in this video lecture we will go through English literature, chapter 8, Foreign Lands, which is a poem. And the name of this poet is Robert Louis Stevenson. Now Stevenson is an Scottish poet. He belongs to Scotland and he is also a travel writer as well as a poet. In this poem, you will find the poet himself imagines himself as a little child and sit on a cherry tree. And sitting on the branches of the cherry tree, he imagines lots of things as he imagines a foreign lands where all the beautiful sights, all the natural sights he imagines. So, let's go through the poem.
Up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. Now here, trunk means stem of tree, abroad means in a foreign country. Now, as a poet, the poet first asked, who should climb on the tree? And in a very next moment, he himself said that no one else but I myself will climb on this cherry tree. And now he's climbed on a cherry tree and held on its trunk with his both hands. And from this height, he visualized seeing foreign lands at a distance. Now, in a simple way, poet is sitting on a higher branch of a cherry tree, and from there he is visualizing a foreign lands. I saw the next door garden lie, adorned with flowers before my eye, and many secret places more that I have never seen before. Adored means more beautiful or attractive. The poet says that as a child, while he is sitting on the branch of a cherry tree, he is able to see the neighbor's garden from the height of the tree. He says that he saw the neighbor's garden with its beautiful, colorful flowers, and which is really giving a prettiest sight in this world. He says that he could also see many more pleasant sights which he has never seen before, and these sights really giving a pleasuring essence to the poet's heart. I saw a dimpling river pass, and with the sky's blue looking glass, the dusty roads go up and down with people tramping into town. Dimpling means here smiley. Tramping means here walking heavily or noisily. The poet says that he could also able to see many more pleasant places like the river passing by, the blue sky sitting on a high up on the tree. And he says he also able to saw people walking up and down to the town area on the dusty roads very heavily. Now, while the poet as a child sitting on a higher branch of a tree, he says that he is able to observe the people of the town who is walking up and down, and is also able to observe the rivers which are passing by. Now here in this stanza, the poet have some kind of wish. What he has wished? Let's see. If I could find a higher tree, farther and farther I should see, to where the grown-up river sleeps into a sea among the ships. Now farther means too far. Now in this stanza, as I have already told you, that the poet has some kind of wish. And what he wished that he could find a more higher tree. If he could find a more higher tree, then he's quite sure, he's very much sure that he would be able to see more farther and farther area, and he could see the river joining the sea among the ships. Now he is having a wish to have a more higher branch of a tree so that he could climb on that branch of the tree, and from there he would be able to see the more distance area and the more beautiful foreign lands. To where the roads on either hand lead onward into fairyland, where all the children dine at 5 and where all the playthings come alive. Onward means forward, playthings means an artificial design to play, or you can say a toy. So, in the continuation of the first prior stanza, the poet wished that if he could able to find a higher tree, then he would also see the roads on either side leading forward to a fairyland. Now he is in wish of having that. He wants to see a fairyland also, where all the children play at 5 in the evening. And what will happen? All the playthings would come to life. Now he wants that in this stanza, if he would be able to find a more high branch of a tree, then from there he would be able to watch or visualize a fairylands which will be filled with all its cheerful environment with the children, where all children will play in a cheerful mood. So this was all about foreign lands. So once you also go through this poem and enjoy the imagination of the poet as a child. In this poem, the poet imagines lots of things as he imagines a foreign lands which includes lots of beautiful natural sights such as riverside, roadside, seaside, and yes, of course, fairyland, which is filled with all the beautiful sights, with the cheerful sights, and also with the children who will play in that area.
So students, I hope you all might have understood this poem. So once you also go through this poem and enjoy all the natural filaments of this world, and you will find that how poet imagines lots of imaginary things, all the natural sights you will find in this poem.